How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In the previous video, we reacted to Chris Tyson wishing to change his gender, and we discussed the possible consequences and possible cancellation Mr. Beast and his team and controversy they might face. So in this video, this is Ludwig reacting to or talking about let's talk about Chris video. So let's just begin.
A lot of conversations about Chris from the Mr. Beast team, specifically how he announced he's undergoing hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah,
Originally, I wasn't going to make a video about it because, frankly, who cares? This is just an adult making the best decision for their life, and it doesn't impact the viewer at all.
that is true. In some point, he is spitting true. The reason for that is, in the end, none of it really matters. Who are we to judge someone? However, there is a reason that two words exist: praise and criticism. Criticism does not mean hate, it means to criticize someone that is making an incorrection and trying to show him a good moral compass and reminding him that his actions have an impact to people associated to them in like their family, friends, etc. So it is debatable. So let's just continue.
So why talk about it? That was, of course, until the only YouTuber I don't like made a video about it. And no, I'm not talking about Mr. Top 5. I like that guy.
He
Don't
does
worry about
not
it.
like
I'm
Sunny.
talking about Sunny V2. Now, I don't like
Okay.
Sunny V2 because
Why?
most of his videos just prey on somebody's downfall and it spreads a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
negativity. He has some good videos like the 61 hours Mac Miller video, but the rest of them, it's just a lot of
I am going to be a neutral one because I don't know much about Sunny.
surface level research with oftentimes hate comments or just like anecdotal quotes being used as
Maybe he
evidence for what he
makes
means.
hate videos
And
too.
his
I
most
don't know.
recent
We
video
have to
did
look into
clickbait
it.
me. It was called "Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for Mr. Beast," and so I watched it and I was in awe about how shit it was. And we'll get to how shit it was, but first let's get some context going. This is Chris announcing he's doing HRT, and this came off the heels of a tweet from someone saying, "Bro, what the fuck happened?" And it was Chris 3 years ago or something, and then Chris now, and he goes HRT, and it's only been 2 months. And Chris follows up and says, "Informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles gender nonconforming people have to jump through to get life-saving, gender-affirming healthcare in a first-world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies." That makes sense. I can get on board with that.
The only question in my mind is, let's suppose, Chris, people do it and remain happy for few years, for few days or few months maybe. But what will happen in the long run? Will it affect their mental health? Will it make them, I made a mistake. I should have stayed true to my natural gender. So, yeah.
Gender-affirming healthcare. Not
By the way, I am only stating my opinions on this video and on this YouTube drama. I do not hate anyone, any of them. I respect all of them. So, remember that.
be different from a boob job, or me when my hair is going to go and I'm going to have to chug Propecia to save my career. And for anyone who's concerned about the pronouns here, Chris, any pronouns is chill. I'm going with he, him. In general, for pronouns, you just try your best. You ask if you don't know. If you're wrong, you correct yourself. It doesn't have to be deeper than that. Anyway, let's get to the shit video. This is a real clip from the video. I'll play it uninterrupted.
Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails.
Yeah, that was a real piece of evidence. He paints, bro. Like you gotta go a little bit deeper than that, right? Like, who hasn't painted their nails at least fucking once? What's wrong with painting your goddamn nails?
I never did it.
All right, catch me getting a mani and a petty.
I
You
will
got
never
gross
get
ass
it.
nails. I don't want them. anyway, he follows up by reading out this hate comment.
Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
Which honestly could be a bar
I
in
still
any other
laugh
video
to
strategy.
As the
this
criticism
comment.
continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media.
Now, at this point, what do you think Sonny V2 is going to say? All right, Chris is getting a bit harassed. He's taking a break from social media, maybe trying to, find what makes him happy in life.
And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to return to his former self,
I feel like the implication of that sentence is go back. Actually, don't explore what makes you happy. Don't do what you want to do. Don't be who you are. It's go back. Go back to the more masculine you, which I don't know if that's Sonny V2 just being horny for how Chris looked in 2017 or what, but it's fucking weird either way. And then he says this comment.
he'd rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image, showing up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this.
I don't like how he said that. I don't like how he said look.
With respect towards Ludwig, I don't mean any disrespect. Ludwig, one thing I must say that he is trying, maybe he's trying to criticize him so that he could, think that what's going on is maybe not right. But however, one thing I don't like is people trying to convey these kind of message to kids. That is very uncomfortable and it's a very dark place to go to teach them about these things because they're underage, they're still children. They should be playing and all the playing video games and sports etc, learning, not learning about these kind of things.
Looking like this, especially when Tariq is in the photo looking like that. Really? You're worried about how Chris looks? Bro, look at Tariq. What are we talking about here?
He looks funny.
Anyway, I see a lot of like random ass comments that kind of imply that this decision from Chris was made on a dime. And I don't know if you ever talked to someone who's trans. I have, just being in my stream. It's never a quick decision. It's not like fucking you wake up one day, you're like, tits would be nice. That's not, it's usually a long battle that happens where you are trying to find who you are in this world while also trying to somehow conform to what society says you should be. And we have had, luckily, because we live in a goddamn free country, more freedoms. It was not very long ago, it was in your parents' lifetime, that the phrase "pray the gay away" was standard, right? And that's the reality of it. So it's, I think,
The reason for that is ever since mankind started its roots from Adam and Eve till the last century, these kind of things were forbidden because they were not natural. However, the modern age and advancement of science has, progressed to progressed so much that the mind is now accepting anything, anything, whatever science is trying to give them something new like gender change, etc. These kind of things. That is why they are becoming more and more common nowadays. Who knows? In the future, it might become a law or something.
pretty dope that you can actually find who you want to be and that we live in a place where that works. And this was someone else's take on it, which this is just funny.
Karl is tearing the Mr. Beast team apart and turning them gay? Karl is
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Karl is
I feel
funny.
there's
I
some
like that
implication
man.
You just hang out with Karl, you get gay? Obviously no. Obviously no. In fact, Chris announced during, like, I think the election a few years ago that he was bi, and he said he came out to people when he was 16 years old. So like totally off base, stupid fucking comments. But Sonny V2 does not end with his stupidity.
You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty. Pathetic. He will get torn apart at school, won't want to have friends around his house. A life full of difference and being a...
In the last video, I talked about this. I said this, what Sunny V2 has said. That is true to a lot of the extent that his son will become lonely in school, won't have anyone around him, people will bully him, he will lack a father figure in his life. So all kind of mental troubles might come into it. I don't wish it. I wish that he grows up well healthy and educated and contributing to the society. However, this entire statement is true. He will face these kind of things. These are the consequences. Wait, sorry for that.
Is going to affect Tucker's life and going to ruin his life or whatever. And to be clear, for this second comment, he'll get torn apart at school. He won't have any friends around. That is just because you are transphobic. But the kids, the next generation, they're way fucking smarter. They're
Yeah,
way more understanding, and they care way more about their fellow human than anybody does in the older generations. So maybe they would if you went to school with Tucker, but luckily you're an adult, and so you shouldn't be within 100 feet of it. And the kids will be way better positioned.
yeah,
And
that is
because of
true
all
too.
this backlash that people are saying somehow he's going to be a worse father because of this, Chris posted a schedule of how he takes care of his kid, which he does not have to do. I feel bad that he felt like he had to do this shit. It's fucking out of pocket. Like, to be clear, Chris loves his kid. His kid is going to live a top 0.001% life, right? Like he will never have to struggle for anything. Bro, this kid's uncles are Mr. Beast and
Yeah,
Karl Jacobs.
yeah,
Every fucking birthday is gonna be lit. He's
yeah.
gonna have a fucking garage full of cars by the time he's 16. Like, I don't think people understand. He's gonna live one of the greatest lives of all time. If I get to reincarnate, I choose Chris's kid. That is a cushy gig. Let me get Chris's kid as my next life, because that's one of the greatest lives you.
That would be Ludwig. That would be the wealth factor. He don't have to struggle for anything. That is actually true. However, we are talking about the mental well-being.
Can get. And clearly Chris loves his kid, and that's what you need to be a
I'm
parent.
sure he loves
Right?
him.
He's crushing it as a parent. So crazy to even include that in the video, with which is just mindless hate comments, as somehow like reasons to maybe not come out that you're taking HRT. I don't know. I don't know what the goal of that was.
Whether it be
And this is how the video ends, and I think it's so dog shit.
arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy.
This sentence actually seems reasonable, and let me explain it. For example, if someone has to do HRT or whatever they call it, and if a friend tries to give his advice on not doing it, he is thinking for your well-being, all that. So in a way, sometimes we listen to our friends and get into a situation that we do not want to be. However, most of the time it's actually a good suggestion made by them. So that's my opinion.
Forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.
Now, off rip, it's not drama. This is not like there was no drama. All right, a person made a choice that HRT would make them happier. That's it. The drama is all you fucks talking about it like it's somehow like the devil. It's not. It doesn't
Some way it is the devil.
impact anything at all. I don't get it at all. This whole video, I mean, you could have just said, "Hey, I'm outwardly transphobic, and I feel like I don't like when people take HRT," and it would have been more honest. All right, we would have got to the point quicker rather than wasting 9 minutes and 7 seconds of listening to it. But I don't know. The whole shit seems wild to me. But let's talk to the person who he's talking about. He said Chris could be a nightmare for Mr. Beast. What does Mr. Beast think? This is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my fucking friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. There it is. All right, from the horse's mouth. We don't need to fucking talk about it anymore. I don't get why it's such a big talking point. We can move on. We can find other things to worry about. Global politics. I don't know. Just move the fuck on. It's not a big deal. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Subscribe. See you later. Goodbye.
So this is my theory why Mr. Beast is actually supporting Chris. I don't want to sound rude or anything. I'm just stating whatever my mind is thinking right now. So my theory is that maybe the impact of one sentence or one word in this modern age, aka YouTube, is so strong that bigger and larger channels get cancelled easily. So maybe Mr. Beast is getting stuck in the pressure, and he has to keep up with it, and is trying so hard that, you know, a certain community might not dislike him and, try to cancel him. So he's trying to prevent it by saying, yes, he's my friend. Of course they are friends, I'm sure they're like brothers. I'm trying to make a point here. So he's trying to prevent it by saying yes to everything that is happening around him. So does it make sense? So yeah, that's it for the video. By the way, I don't hate Ludwig, I don't hate Mr. Beast, I don't hate Chris, I don't hate Carl. I love all of them. I respect them. I am their fan. I grew up watching them. So yeah, and if you like the video, then please give your comments and suggest a link in the description, in the comment section, so that I can look into it and react. And if you like the video, please subscribe. That's it all. That's it for today. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.